here is our subtracting integers review. So this is very, very similar to addition. So kind of the rules or the steps, right, are the first number tells us where to start. The second thing is that the operation tells us which way to face. So remember, if we add, we're facing to the right. If we subtract, we're facing left. And then the third thing is that second number tells us how many steps. And if we walk backwards or forward. So let's try one of these on a number line. So if we have, let's say we have 6 subtract 4. So first things first, we start at 6. 6 is right here. And we are subtracting, so we face to the left, right there. And then we walk forward, because remember, if it's a positive, we walk forward. And if it's a negative, we walk backward. But this is subtracting positive 4. So we're going to subtract, we're going to face to the left, and we're going to walk forward 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that put us at positive 2. If we do this with a chip and tile model, we really have to think of this subtraction sign as take away or opposite. And whichever one of those works for you, you can use. So for the chip and tile model, we're going to start with 6 positive chips. There's our 6 positive chips, and it wants us to take away 4 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are left with positive 2. When you think of this opposite, really what you're doing is changing the subtraction to addition. So let's talk about what that looks like. So when we can change any subtraction problem to an addition problem by keeping the same number, the first number the same, changing this operation from subtraction to addition, and then changing that second number to its opposite. So what that looks like on the problem we just did is that we would leave 6 the same. I'm going to change colors here so we can kind of see the new problem. It would be 6. We change the sign from subtraction to addition. We change that last number to its opposite. So 6 plus negative 4. On a number line, we would start at 6. That tells us to face forward. But then that negative 4 tells us to walk backwards. So then we would walk 1, 3, 4 steps backwards, and we still end up at positive 2. A chip and tile model, we would draw 6 positives and 4 negatives. We would cancel out the ones that cancel out, and we're still left with positive 2. So you can change any subtraction to an addition problem if you just follow these steps down here. Okay, let's do one more. on the second number line, we are gonna do 4 subtract negative 2. So first off, we can change this to an addition problem. We can do 4, because we leave the first number the same, plus the opposite of negative 2, which is 2. Okay? So if we model the subtraction, we're going to start at 4, which is right here. We're going to face left because of this little guy. But then, because of this one, we're going to walk backwards. So if we're facing to the left, we're going to walk backwards. 1, 2, 3. Oh, excuse me, I was only supposed to go 2. I apologize, guys. So 1, 2. And that put us at positive 6. If we look at this with addition, which, again, we can change them and they mean the same thing, we would start at 4, which is right here. We would face to the right, because this is an addition sign, and because it's not a negative number, we would just walk forward and we would walk 1, 2, and we're still going to end up at positive 6. If we model with a subtraction, so we're going to have 4 positive, or excuse me, yeah, 4 positives. 4 positives. There's 4 positives right there, and it wants us to take away 2 negatives, but I don't have any negatives. So I'm going to add some 0 pairs. Because remember, 0 pairs, it's 1 positive and 1 negative, and they equal 0 because they cancel each other out. So I'm going to add, excuse me, just a few 0 pairs. I'm going to change color so you can see the ones I add. And you can add as many 0 pairs as you want. It goes on and on. Okay. And then you're going to take away what you needed. So we needed to take away 2 negatives. We're going to take 2 negatives right here. 1, 2. We're going to take those guys away. Now we need to see if anything cancels out. And these ones do. The 0 pair right here. And now what are we left with? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. So we're still at 6 positives. We can add as many 0 pairs as we want. You can't just add positives or negatives. You have to add one of each. So remember that. You have to add one of each, a positive and a negative, to have a 0 pair. Or, again, we could look at this like we were saying, 4 and the opposite of negative 2, which is 4 and 2. So we just change the subtraction to an addition. We would draw 4 positives, and then we would draw 2 positives. None of them cancel out, and we're left with 6. So that's just a quick review on subtracting integers. Pause the video, go back and rewatch things if you need to, and hopefully that helps.